A couple of years ago in Warmind, we began to see hints at who the Exo Stranger really is. Alongside that, Anna would also tell us through her dialogue on Mars that she didn't remember her past, or who Clovis Bray really was even. This was Anna's goal. She would long await the day where she can figure out what happened to her family and most importantly find out about her sister Elsie. Thanks to Beyond Light though, the two sisters finally talk face to face, or face to robot face, and things get pretty emotional to say the least. So let's briefly discuss Anna's past searching for Braytech's secrets, how the stranger killed Anna, and what's in store for their future now that they're reunited together.
So know this as you step away from the light once more. Inside us all is the strength to control darkness. We need only look inward and remember why we're here. We are humanity's final salvation.
Welcome back everyone. Today's video is going to be an exciting one. I probably always say that, but if you've played through the Beyond Light and upgraded your stasis, subclasses, and all of that, you may have experienced some of this content you'll see in this video with this stranger and her sister Anna. If not, there will be some spoilers ahead, so keep that in mind. And the plan here is to discuss Anna and the stranger a bit to introduce the topic, then I'm going to let some clips roll that I recorded from some of these missions and quests with the stranger. So that itself is essentially like a little movie. I compiled it all together in order, so you'll see how the stranger goes from searching for Clovis's journal to meeting Anna in the end. Now if you'd like to skip all that, of course we're going to do the intro now, that in the middle, and then the summary at the end. You can scroll through the timeline for the timestamps. Let's begin. Anna Bray was first introduced in the Warmind expansion on Mars. There she would protect and work with Rasputin and the Guardians to stop the unthawing of a new Hive threat and also a Hive god in Xol. Since that time really though, Anna has worked with the Guardians in the city to help their efforts. She has also taken Rasputin into her own hands a couple of seasons ago, putting him into an exo body, or at least that's what she's trying to do. After Mars so-called disappeared off the map, Anna went to the tower and had an exo body and Rasputin's consciousness pretty much inside of an engram shaped thing. So that is what she was up to before Beyond Light started. But many years before that, Anna didn't know the legacy that her family left behind during the Golden Age, or what the Bray name actually meant. If you've read through the lore a while back when Warmind came out, you'll see that these were some of her missions, searching for what's out there on Mars and trying to learn her family's secret. Anna has some cybernetic enhancements seen in the trailer for Warmind, which was most likely related to Braytech, but her sister on the other hand is straight up an exo converted from human into something new. We've talked about the origins of Elsie in many videos in the last couple of weeks and how she became the Exo Stranger, so you can find those on the channel if you'd like, but let's talk about the connection between these two sisters briefly.
And here comes our guardian, right on time.
To this point, Anna believed that Elsie was dead, and even most of her family was dead. This information about the crypt on Europa was news to her just like it was to our guardian. The thing is though, Elsie knew Anna was alive and even had to kill her in another timeline. So it might seem a little confusing, but I'm gonna roll the mini movie here with all the dialogue and meetings between the two sisters, and then we'll break it down. So like I said, this will be about 10 minutes. You can skip forward if you like to the summary. Let's begin.
Humanity's refuge does not lie in us alone. We must awaken darkness far and wide, teach the masses to use it for good. But first, we must awaken its power fully. There was one whose knowledge of the darkness exceeded even our own. My grandfather, Clovis Bray the First. Elizabeth, he said to me as I woke, born again as an exo, you are going to save the world. What a load of crap. The old man didn't care about saving the world. He only cared about his precious legacy. Still, here's to hoping he was right. Clovis kept most of his secrets in his personal journal. And I know just where we can find it. Clovis's journal is fairly encrypted, and I'm unable to bypass most of it. Probably to keep it away from, well, me. I stood by his side for a time. It's why I look like this. He needed a guinea pig, and after Dad passed, I needed a father figure. Eventually, I realized my mistake and joined my sisters in trying to take our grandfather down. So Clovis took precautions to keep us from interfering. Didn't want us exposing every dark truth about every unethical experiment. And so here we are, encrypted journal and all. I think it's about time we extract some good from the bad. Clovis may have been a bastard, but he was a brilliant one. He hid decryption algorithms for his journal all over Europa. Found one. It's in this console. Bring the key to it. We told her she was adopted, Anna. It was simpler than telling her about our father's infidelity. But it was more than that. Anna had some destructive tendencies as a child. Reminded us all of the old man himself. Our mother thought if Anna believed she wasn't one of us, she'd dodge our grandfather's genetic cruelty, as she called it. I never bought it. Cruelty isn't genetic. It's learned. Clovis chose to be evil, and Anna was just a child acting out after losing her father. But in my original timeline, my dark future, Anna eventually found her own brand of cruelty, thanks to the darkness. It used her troubled past to manipulate her, and she wasn't strong enough to resist, and I had to put an end to it, to my little sister's life. There was no other choice.
You killed Anna?
In my dark future, yes. Truth be told, I miss her. But in this timeline, she doesn't even know that I'm alive. That's by my own design. This time, I kept her away from her past and from me to prevent the darkness from getting to her. But no matter what I do, it still finds a way. Iris Morn gave in to curiosity and brought the darkness. Aramis gave in to desire and built a dark empire. As with all things dark, they were both driven by obsession. Because that's where our fault lies. That's how darkness corrupts. I can't ignore it any longer. Keeping Anna away will only cause her obsession to grow, and the darkness will find her. I must find her first. The decryption code worked. There's enough stasis research in here to hold us over for now, but there's a lot yet to decipher. And Anna should be here when we do. I'll let you know what's next, once I make sense of it all. Thanks for your help last time. I was able to decrypt a portion of the journal with what we found, and it's even more unsavory than I ever knew. Amongst the madness, however, it appears our efforts were not in vain. Clovis hadn't just found stasis, he'd enhanced it. Fortunately for the world, he didn't know how to use it. Just sat in a lab somewhere until the collapse, like so many of his experiments. Decrypting the remainder of his journal should point us in the direction of that knowledge. And I know where we can do just that.
I knew Clovis was bad, but all this... I'm feeling a little ashamed of being a Bray right now.
Welcome to my world.
Elsie... Clovis... you... This is all I wanted. All I searched for. But you've been around this whole time, and I never heard from you. Guardian? What are you doing here?
This is actually why I brought you here, Anna. Perfect. This is exactly what we need to decrypt the journal and find that stasis research.
Stasis? You mean darkness power?
Anna, what we're doing here is extremely important. Stasis is just a tool. We've used it for good.
You're using darkness?
I was skeptical at first too, Anna.
Both of you? After everything it's done to us?
Anna, our past. I thought that keeping it from you was the best way to protect you.
Protect me? I've been protecting myself just fine without your help, thanks. And this? Using the darkness? That can't end well.
And it didn't before. But this time...
Hold on. Before?
In another timeline, Anna, you were too obsessed with your past for your own good. And I was too selfish for my own good. The truth is, I'm not from this timeline. Where I come from, the darkness won. And I tried to shield you from it, but all I did was drive you to it. I'm sorry for keeping so much from you. I think the best way to help you now is just to be there for you.
Look, I don't mean to be ungrateful, and it's incredible that you're alive. Really. But I don't know how to handle this. I'm sorry.
Anna, wait!
Being honest with her was the right thing to do.
Time will tell. For now, I'll keep working to find the location of Clovis's stasis research. We'll talk again soon. It's no longer a secret what lies within the Deep Stone Crypt. The living embodiment of darkness, shrouded in the DNA of the Vex. My grandfather desired eternal life. He searched and searched, but in the end, he created it instead. From his fountain of youth, I and every other Exo was born. This is a truth we cannot hide from. The darkness within us. And so we must embrace it. The Guardians that entered the Deep Stone Crypt brought new life to the long-dormant machines of Europa. They carry with them knowledge long thought lost. Now is our chance to seize it. Turns out Clovis really did find stasis power within the darkness. He just didn't know how to use it. So naturally, he hid it. Lucky for us, he did so in the most Clovis Bray of locations. With himself. The giant Exo at the bottom of the Exo factory? That's him. Well, his AI. And I think it's time we all had a talk. Anna included. This is her journey too. In the dark future, she was going to take it with or without me. And when I wasn't there, the darkness was. I won't let that happen again. Anna, you came back.
Yeah, well, it's not every day you reunite with your robot sister after the apocalypse. And because I figured if you went to that much trouble to protect me, you must really care.
I do. I've just been scared, Anna, about losing you again. I thought I was doing the right thing, keeping the truth from you.
All you need to do is be my sister, Elsie. Whatever truths we face, no matter how tough, we'll do it together.
No better time than the present, then. You brought it?
Confidential intelligence activated. It's been centuries since our collective passing, and yet my granddaughters, Elizabeth and Anastasia, stand before me, alive.
Clovis?
Yes, Anastasia. It's me.
Incredible.
I assume since you've made it this far, you've come for my research. Potent darkness energy. This is what you were looking for, Elizabeth? I could never use it. Something tells me you can.
I can, and will, but not alone. We can all use it for good, to save humanity.
No. What? It's not what it's for at all. It's for research, for legacy, for the Bray name.
Why am I not surprised?
Don't get holier than thou on me, Elizabeth. Need I remind it was you who volunteered for Project Exo? You knew the Bray name was at stake and you fought for it. Like your sisters, oh, your mother, even your father, all ungrateful and weak.
You were always a bastard, Clovis.
Yet, you stood beside me willingly, even into eternal life. Life I gave you.
Well, good thing you did, because I'm going to use it to help save the universe from evil like you.
Your naivete was always to be your downfall, granddaughter. Enjoy the gift, and don't forget, you'll always be a Bray, like me.
You know, Clovis was always problematic, but he used to have some humanity before he let the darkness take it from him.
Screw him. He can't control us anymore. Let's take this power and use it exactly like he doesn't want us to. For humanity.
Anna's right. We have what we came for. Time to take it to the ziggurat. Come find me after. I just wanted to say thank you for so much. Most of all, helping me reunite with my sister. In the dark future, Anna was tempted, and I wasn't there for her. From now on, she can count on me. And when she's ready to wield darkness for good, I'll be right there to guide her. In fact, I'll be here to guide anyone who wants it. The Vanguard only recognizes the light. Someone has to do the same for the dark. Or else we risk losing everyone and everything. We have a universe yet to save. I'm looking forward to doing it together.
The two sisters, Elizabeth or Elsie and Anastasia, Anna Bray. In Beyond Light, the stranger is able to contact Anna and tell her the truth about Clovis and using the darkness to our advantage. And also, the biggest thing of them all is telling her that she's still alive. We see in the gameplay missions that Anna is against using the darkness and gets kind of angry at Elsie, but it seems like it was the right thing to do, to let her know the truth. The stranger tells us and Anna that she is from another timeline, one where the darkness won and things were very, very different. In that timeline, Anna became corrupted by the darkness, which forced Elsie to kill her own sister. She now hopes to protect her in this timeline and introduce her to the darkness the right way, a way where we can all use this new power together along with Braytech technology to save humanity. Now, I will be covering the Dark Future lore book, which goes way more in depth on this subject soon, but Elsie is essentially stuck in a time loop where these things keep happening. This time things are different though, with our guardian being able to wield the darkness the right way. So with our help, she's hoping to stop this time loop, stop the Dark Future from happening, and save humanity once and for all. It seems like the first step of that is done, giving the Guardians the power, saving Anna, letting her know that she is alive, and now they can move forward without the corruption of Clovis Bray's past looming over their heads. Anna now knows the truth. Anyway, Guardians, I hope you enjoyed this video. Could have just made a summary there without that whole movie part, but I thought it'd be cool for those that haven't seen it and put it in order to make it a little movie, I guess. Let me know down below what other types of videos you'd like to see, and subscribe for some more awesome entertainment just like this. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. My name's Evade, and I'll catch you Guardians in the next one.